In order to use Adventures in Names 0.5, you must already have Adventures in Names 0.4 installed on your computer. If you're running an earlier version, or if you're running the DOS version, then of course you'll have to install the 0.4 first. In order to find out if you're running 0.4, then you need to go to the Help menu and look on the About button. I'll show you how to do that at this point. On the File menu at the very top of your screen, there's a Help button. When you click on the Help button and you go down and click on the About button, it will bring up the About dialog box. On the upper right corner of the About dialog box, it will tell you the version of the software that you are running. If it's version 0.4, you're fine. If it's version 0.3 or earlier, you'll need to install version 0.4 first. Watch installing 0.4 if you do not already have it installed. The rest of this presentation will tell you about the features of 0.4 and 5. Adventures in Names 0.4 added many new WYSIWYG features, meaning what you see is what you get, to our Names software. Beginning with selecting your own fonts, it came with several new font styles, which aided in making dogs and funny products. You also can drag and drop your text boxes around the screen like you see here, moving them wherever you needed to make new configurations. Then you could take those new product configurations and save them as a template, as if they had come in the software to begin with. You had proof prints available, or a sample print. You could also combine names and poems together, not just two names, but you could have a name and a poem, or a name and a dog, or perhaps even a dog and a poem together, creating all kinds of new products that you then save to your own new templates, just as if it had come with the software to begin with. At this point, I'm going to give you a quick preview of some of these features in case you're not familiar with them. In selecting your own font and font size, you change fonts by, in the text editor, clicking on the font button, change your font, click OK, and that will change the font style. And you see it changes. If you want to edit the text, you open up the text editor by double-clicking on the text box, and that will open the editor. You can edit the word itself. Then, of course, you could change fonts, font size, etc. I'll give you more detailed instructions actually in the training themselves, but this is just a preview for the capabilities. You can drag and drop your text boxes around. Move your text boxes anywhere you want. To do so, you can unlock the text and double-click anywhere, or use Control and your mouse to drag it around. Again, I'll train you exactly how to do this, but I just want you to know that you're able to move the text anywhere you want on the screen so that it will print where you want it to be on the art print. You can now take these new layouts and save them as new product templates of your own. Now you also have a proof or a sample print. When the sample print prints out, it actually has lines through the text. That's so that it's not a desirable product to take home, or there is a watermark behind it, depending upon the version you have. In the new version, you'll have watermarks, but right now it has a line through, and so it's readable. Don't sell these to your customers. They'll just take it home and type it in their own desktop publisher, and you've lost a sale for yourself. So that gives us a good overview of the features of 0.4. You can have your own fonts, drag the boxes, text boxes around, proof prints, combine poems and names and dogs. Now let's move on to the new features that 0.5 are going to provide for you. Let's go ahead and take a look at the categories in 0.5, specifically hot templates, which is your first template category. We'll choose hot templates and go next. And it defaults, you see, to a name template, so all we have to do is choose next and click right on through the art screen. It defaults to female names, so all you have to do is type the name in. Once you've typed the name in, hit the find button. You'll note when you hit the find button, it'll bring the name up on the right hand side, and you can verify that that's the name that you want. You'll click on the next button, and you see it's created your product. We mentioned earlier that if you wanted to move the text around, you could. Hold your left mouse down on the left-hand button. Of course, make sure that lock text is unlocked. Hold your left mouse button down and drag around the text box. If you want to move everything around, ensure that lock art and lock text is off, hold your control key down, and then your left mouse button on the name, and it'll drag everything around for you. Alright, now if we want to insert a greeting or a signature line, we'll go to the Insert button and we'll click on Insert, choose Greeting, it'll put a line at the top. Insert Signature, it'll put a line at the bottom. These can be 1 or 2 or 3 lines long, whatever we desire. You can double click on it to bring it into the editor, add whatever text you want to add to it, and then you can of course change the font if you desire to, change the font size, and when you're finished you go ahead and click on Finish. You would edit any of the text boxes this same way, change them in any way you want, and it just changes it for this product. We can edit the properties of any of these text boxes by double right clicking on the text box we want. For example, if we're going to edit the name text box, we would then double right click on it. That will bring up its properties box. We're going to change the font size, and so by using the little teeny arrow or down arrow on the right hand side of this font, you'll see we can make it increase the font size or decrease the font size according to what we're really wanting to do here. And that way you can edit any of these text boxes. In addition, there are advanced features here as to make them higher or wider. We're going to examine a couple of other features here. Under Hot Templates, you'll notice that we've got some other categories. You can do a combo, which are 2 names. You can do a pet. You can do a poem. But you notice the name is automatically the default, so all you have to do is click Next, go right on through the data screen. If you want to change it to a male name, just click on Male. We'll type in a new name here. In this case, before we hit the Find button, we want to change language. So we're going to change it to Spanish by clicking on this down arrow, clicking on Spanish, and then hitting Find, so that we'll find that name in Spanish. Now note, it looked the name up in English for us that on the right hand side, because most of our dealers read English, but it actually created the product in Spanish. For me, one of the more exciting features of 0.5 is its ability to print artwork. For those who have not purchased Adventures in Art version, then there are some sample art prints included and some art elements included that you can try to see how you like the project, and then you can add that to your subscription should you desire to do so. With all those who did purchase and pre-purchase Adventures in Art, these art prints are included in your install library. These art prints are not necessarily the pieces that you're using 10 or 15 times a day. It's probably more economical for you to purchase the pre-printed art prints for your very popular. There are 2 kinds of art. There are the art prints, such as we see here, and then art elements. Art elements are pieces of art which can be added. We're going to go back up here and we're going to look at actually elements. Here we go, elements. And we're just going to take an example over here. Let's look at some dogs. There we go, there's a dog. I'm going to pull this up so you can take a little better peek at it. Obviously, I wouldn't put it on top of this art print, but I'd like you to at least get a feeling of what I'm talking about. This is an art element that can be used on top of a parchment or some other piece of art. You could also go in and you could bring in people's photographs off your hard drive. You can go anywhere on your hard drive and find a photograph and bring that picture in, should you desire to do so. Just go onto your hard drive, go into wherever you saved your picture at. Okay. Find the picture you desire to use, and you can add that picture to your art, perhaps as a bereavement or something else that you want to be able to add here, and crop it down however you're wanting to do. and add that picture to your piece here. There's all kinds of ways of being able to edit this. You can do it visually. You can use your properties box. Again, we'll train you on all of these things in future training. This is just to give you an idea of things that you could do. And you could actually print that right with the art print should you desire to do so.